Madam.
Awesome. We've got a shower or two, literally a shower or two in the valley. Other than that, we're drying out. 67 tomorrow after patching morning fog, lots of sun. And let's do it again on Saturday, except warmer, 70 degrees.
Very nice. CBS News coming your way next.
We'll see you back here at 11. Good night.
Tonight, more than 20,000 people urged to leave their homes near Santa Barbara by a fast-moving wildfire. Dozens of houses have been destroyed, and the fire is still out of control. I'm Harry Smith. Also tonight, the stress test results are in. The government says half of America's biggest banks will need to raise billions. Los Angeles Dodgers slugger Manny Ramirez suspended for 50 games. The latest pro athlete caught up in a drug scandal. And a wounded warrior, and the miraculous moment that started him on the road to recovery.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Good evening. Katie is on assignment. California's wildfire season is off to an early and very dangerous start. Whipped up by high winds and summer-like temperatures, flames are leaping through the hills near Santa Barbara. 12,000 people have been ordered to evacuate. 12,000 more are being urged to leave. Dozens of houses have been destroyed. 1,400 firefighters are trying desperately to get the fire under control. 10 have been injured, at least 3 seriously. Ben Tracy is on the scene. Ben?
Harry, take a look at this. Just a day ago, this was somebody's home, and now all you can make out here is this burnt-out patio furniture. And this is just some of the damage from a fire they once thought was under control. But if you take a look at the hilltop up there, it clearly isn't anymore.
A terrible fire emergency here in Santa Barbara County. California's wildfires are back with a vengeance. Wind-whipped flames went roaring through the Santa Barbara foothills, hollowing out dozens of homes.
What was it like last night?
It was a firestorm.
Richard Martin saved his house last night while his neighbors were destroyed.
It's made of 6-inch thick concrete walls.
He and his wife hid out in their fire bunker, periodically braving the scorching sky, using hoses to douse their property.
And the fire was right there.
Oh, yeah.
Just yesterday morning, firefighters thought they had a handle on the blaze, but then their worst enemy, sundowner winds, blew into town.
With the wind and the high temperatures, it really blew up.
Sundowners arrived late in the day. Super hot and dry high-pressure air churns down from the mountains and slams through passes and canyons, overwhelming the cool, damp air near the coast. Sundowner gusts can reach hurricane force, a blowtorch spreading the flames.
We actually have some crews that were out on the line that recorded gusts of up to 70, and there's not a lot you can do with a 70-mile-an-hour wind.
2 Ventura County firefighters were hospitalized for 1st and 2nd degree burns. They were rescued after the area around them suddenly burst into flames. Their fire truck even began to melt. Today, firefighters used a brief window of calm winds to try to contain the fire.
This house will likely be a total loss, but the firefighters keep fighting it so the embers from this house don't start another house on fire.
None of this is cheap. Cash-strapped California has spent $388 million fighting wildfires in just the past 9 months. Tonight, even those who still have a home are shocked by what's been lost.
This is absolutely beautiful place, and it looks like a wasteland now.
It's already heating up here again. It's about 100 degrees right now, and those forecast calls for those sundowner winds to continue. And Harry, if they whip up those flames again tonight, it's going to be a long night for the folks in this neighborhood.
For certain. Ben Tracy, thank you so much. Now to those so-called stress tests the government's been giving the country's biggest banks to see if they could survive if the recession got worse. Some of the results have been leaking out, but today we got the official findings, and our business correspondent Anthony Mason has them. Anthony?
Harry, 150 examiners have been looking at these 19 major banks for the past few months. While the government says none are insolvent, some do need an extra cushion as insurance against a deeper recession. In all, 10 of the country's largest banks were told they need to raise more capital, led by Bank of America, which must come up with nearly $34 billion. Wells Fargo, nearly $14 billion. GMAC, the financing arm of General Motors, $11.5 billion. And Citigroup, $5.5 billion. The 9 banks that have sufficient buffers and don't need more money include American Express and J.P. Morgan Chase.
Our hope is that with these actions today, banks are going to be able to get back to the business of banking.
The banks have until November to raise more capital, either by selling assets or issuing more common stock. Wells Fargo and Morgan Stanley immediately announced new stock offerings, and analysts believe most won't need to go back to the government for help.
I believe they can raise money today, yes.
But Paul Miller worries the government's test wasn't stressful enough. The severe scenario simulated unemployment hitting 10%. Miller believes that should have been 12%.
But if it stays at 10%, the economy is much better than we thought. They won't have to come back to the market anymore, and we will start digging ourselves out of this recession.
Wall Street has regained confidence in the banks. Bank of America and Wells Fargo stock have rallied more than 300% since March. Citigroup has rebounded more than 200%. Analyst Colin Gilbert called the stress tests a turning point.
Because it's finally giving some clarity into the capital structures of the banks, which has been what's dragged these banks into the ground for the last 6 to 12 months.
The economy is still fragile, but the Treasury believes there will be far less risk of a deep recession if confidence can be restored to the banking system. Harry?
Anthony Mason, thanks. With the billions the government has spent to bail out banks and car makers and stimulate the economy, the president is under pressure to rein in spending. So today, he removed about $17 billion from his proposed $3.5 trillion budget for next year.
The 121 budget cuts we are announcing today will save taxpayers nearly $17 billion next year alone. And even by Washington standards, that should be considered real money.
Republican critics don't, noting $17 billion amounts to only 0.5% of the proposed budget. Topping the CBS News Money Watch tonight, what passes for good news in this recession. While 601,000 more laid-off workers got in line for unemployment benefits last week, it was the lowest number in 14 weeks. They joined the record more than 6.3 million people already collecting. And business is picking up at the mall. Same-store sales were up in April for the first time in 6 months. But more bad news for General Motors today, another huge quarterly loss. Here's Cynthia Bowers.
Today's bad news is more evidence GM's fate is still up in the air. Today, the company said it lost $6 billion for the first quarter. Vehicle sales plunged nearly 50% from the same period last year, nearly 400,000 fewer sold. And their latest attempt to sell more cars caused a new PR nightmare. The ailing automaker is entertaining 500 of its biggest customers at an Arizona resort, corporate and rental car companies who purchased 27% of all GM vehicles sold last year.
They need to convince fleet buyers that they will be around.
Meanwhile, GM is going ahead with plans to cut 42% of its dealerships, first targeting those who sell discarded brands like Hummer, Saab, Saturn, and Pontiac. But in all, 2,600 dealers will get a letter telling them they're done.
I think everybody's already been graded. I think that the letters are due to come out, I think, here around the 10th or the 11th of May.
At Breedeman Chevrolet in Park Ridge, Illinois, John Breedeman says he was told GM considered everything, from location to sales figures to customer satisfaction, even debt load.
I think that we're in good shape, but that doesn't mean that, your heart doesn't go out to somebody who may not be meeting all those criteria.
What is not known is how many of the 2,600 dealers and their tens of thousands of employees will go quietly. Because dealerships are so vital to local economies, generating billions in sales revenue, nearly every state has some sort of franchise protection, which could prove costly to GM.
A manufacturer can't just come and say, you know what, thanks for all the years of service, thanks for the investment you've made in your facility, etc. We're done with you. They have to pay.
For GM, it's a no-win situation. Everything they do to save money in the long run costs money in the short term. And the government says they have until June 1st to prove themselves or go into bankruptcy. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Chicago.
Another baseball slugger has struck out on a drug test. Dodger superstar Manny Ramirez was suspended today for nearly 1/3 of the season. Chief investigative correspondent Armand Katayan has the story.
Long one of baseball's best and yet most enigmatic stars, Manny Ramirez preferred to let his booming bat do the talking.
This ball is
gone for a 3-run home run. Now that bat has been silenced until at least early July. The Los Angeles Dodgers outfielder suspended for 50 games after testing positive for the use of a banned performance-enhancing substance, reportedly a drug used to stimulate the production of testosterone. It will cost Ramirez nearly $8 million, about 1/3 of his $25 million salary this season.
It hurts me because I think he made a personal choice, and I think it was a wrong one. I think it sends a terrible message.
In a statement, Ramirez said he recently saw a physician for a personal health issue. He gave me a medication, not a steroid, which he, the doctor, thought was okay to give me. That mistake is now my responsibility, said Ramirez, adding, I'm sorry about this whole situation. He won't appeal the suspension.
The truth of the matter is, he did, by his own admission, take a performance-enhancing drug.
Ramirez led the Boston Red Sox to 2 World Series titles before a stormy exit to Los Angeles last summer. This season, he was hitting a team-leading .348 with 6 home runs, sparking the Dodgers to the best record in baseball. Over the years, his hair-raising antics, like being spotted in a bar after claiming he was too sick to play or refusing to pinch hit in a game, prompted their own catchphrase, Manny being Manny. A shake-of-the-head reputation Ramirez positively added to today. Armin Katayan, CBS News, New York.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, some call it a miracle. One special word from a general brought a wounded warrior back from the brink.
So long, ooziness.
And hello, new C-Bond Value Pack. Say bye-bye, pasty use, and hello, C-Bond Value Pack.
For a limited time, get your Double My Bucks certificate at CVS Pharmacy or at CVS.com, so you can earn double extra bucks every time you purchase a prescription.
Hi.
CVS Pharmacy pays you back, and these days, everybody could use a few extra bucks.
There you go.
Thanks.
Hey, honey, did you know that they...
Yes, I know. Thanks.
CVS Pharmacy, for all the ways you care. FTD's worldwide network of florists have been creating beautiful arrangements for nearly 100 years. Trust your most important occasions to the flower experts at FTD. Whether you're sending flowers around the corner or around the world, visit us at ftd.com.
If you're like a lot of people, you have high blood pressure and you have high cholesterol. You've taken steps to try and lower both your numbers, but how close are you to your goals? There may be more you can do. Only Catawet combines 2 proven medicines in a single pill to significantly lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. In a clinical study of patients with slightly elevated blood pressure and cholesterol, Catawet helped 48% reach both goals in just 4 weeks.
Catawet is one of many treatment options, in addition to diet and exercise, that you can discuss with your doctor. Catawet is not for everyone. It's not for people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. To check for liver problems, you need simple blood tests. Tell your doctor about any heart problems and all other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
How close are you to where you want to be? Ask your doctor if Catawet can help you go for both your goals.
Fiber? I'd had my fill. Then I found Miralax. Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating, no excess gas, no taste, no grit. You'll see, it's clearly different.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
It's a revolution in pain relief.
The new Icy Hot Medicated Roll. Take what you need for shoulders, backs, joints, even arthritis. Medicated relief gets icy to dull pain, hot to relax it away. The new Icy Hot Medicated Roll.
With the roll, pain's under control.
They are living examples of the terrible cost of war. America's wounded warriors. More than 34,000 U.S. servicemen and women have been wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan. David Martin has the story of one soldier's remarkable recovery and the power of one special word.
Lieutenant Brian Brennan is a walking, talking miracle. There's no other word for it. 1 year ago today, he lost both his legs to a roadside bomb in Afghanistan, and now his mother is watching him learn to run all over again.
the first time we saw Brian run.
The 44 pounds of explosives, which tore off his legs and killed 3 fellow soldiers in the 101st Airborne Division, also left Brennan with a brain injury so traumatic there seemed little hope for recovery.
He didn't wake up, and that's when the real terror struck us all. Oh my, he may never wake up. They said on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, he was a 1.
Then one day last June, he had a visitor.
It was a very, very grim situation, very tough one.
General David Petraeus, who once commanded the 101st Airborne, tried the usual words of encouragement.
Hang tough, big guy. Your troopers need you back out there.
But his 4 stars carried no weight.
There was absolutely no response whatsoever.
Did you think there was any hope?
Not really.
I see his beautiful blue eyes, but he's staring right through me. And he doesn't know who I am, and he doesn't know I'm there.
Petraeus turned to leave, then decided to give it one last try.
I just decided to shout out, Currahee.
That's right, Currahee. It's a Cherokee Indian word that's the motto for the famous Band of Brothers Regiment in the 101st.
We counted 1, 2, 3, Currahee.
That's when he kind of sat up in the bed as best as he could.
Like saying, I'm in here, I'm in here.
All of a sudden, the lieutenant, his stumps are banging up and down on the sheets. His head is moving around and very clearly responding to his unit's nickname.
Everybody in the facility was clapping and crying. The doctors who had been working on him and giving us all that bad news came running down the hall. We heard.
For 3 weeks, he had not responded to the voices of his family. But that Band of Brothers motto brought him back from the living dead.
It's just so awesome to be part of that historic unit. It was always in the back of my head.
And then it came to the front.
Yes, it did.
After that, he just, every day got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better.
Last weekend, the general and the lieutenant met up again.
How are you doing there, big guy?
Very good, sir. How you doing?
He introduced Brennan as the unsung hero of the New Jersey Hall of Fame. That walk across the stage brought the house down and overwhelmed his father.
I know how tough he is. And if there's anybody in this world that could do it, he was the one.
Less than a year after being comatose and unresponsive, he delivered a speech to a crowd of 2,000.
I accept this honor on behalf of all servicemen and women.
And guess what happened?
1, 2, 3, Currahee!
Do you know what Currahee means? It means stand alone. How perfect is that? David Martin, CBS News, Walter Reed, Army Medical Center.
This is a Centrum multivitamin, complete from A to zinc. This is CoroWise, a natural ingredient that can lower cholesterol. Put them together, and you get Centrum Cardio, the first and only complete multivitamin that can lower cholesterol. Centrum Cardio.
Okay, maybe it was my fault.
She told me to kill the weeds.
And you did, along with the grass.
I used the wrong stuff.
Oh, there were dead spots everywhere.
This is the right stuff. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. It kills weeds down to the root. Even the tough ones like dandelion and crabgrass.
Yeah, but unlike that other stuff, it won't kill the grass. Ortho guarantees it. Kill the weeds, not the lawn.
Weeds, not lawn.
You got it?
Yeah. Ortho Weed Be Gone Max.
Defend what's yours.
Italia. Much more.
Well,
Well, I married my dream girl, but she didn't tell me her credit was bad. So now instead of living in a pleasant suburb, we're living in the basement at her mom and dad's. No, we can't get a loan for a respectable home just because my girl defaulted on some old credit card. If we'd gone to freecreditreport.com, I'd be a happy bachelor with a dog and a yard.
Offer applies with enrollment and Triple Advantage.
At eHarmony, we think there's a better way for singles to find lasting relationships. While other sites make you scan through thousands of pictures to find a match, eHarmony pre-screens each member for you to determine your matches based on 29 dimensions of deep compatibility in areas like character, values, and intellect. Feel the difference yourself of being matched on deep compatibility. Get started today and review all your matches for free at eHarmony.com.
Wesleyan University in Connecticut is locked down tonight after a student was murdered yesterday. The killer is on the loose, and the police fear he may come back to target Jewish students. 21-year-old Johanna Justin Jinich was shot to death at a bookstore just off campus. The suspected killer, Stephen Morgan, was once accused of stalking her. The H1N1 flu virus may be less lethal than feared, but the CDC said today there is no sign it's petering out here in the United States, with nearly 900 confirmed cases in 41 states. And the World Health Organization said today that if the virus spreads worldwide, as many as 2 billion people could be infected. But scientists admit they don't know what the virus will do next. Here's our medical correspondent, Dr. John LaPook.
While officials offer reassurance about the H1N1 virus, researchers around the world are racing to understand its inner workings because it could evolve into a deadlier strain. Scientists at the La Jolla Institute for Allergy and Immunology are comparing hundreds of different flu strains dating back to 1918 to the current one.
Our specific interest is to understand whether there is already a pre-existing immune memory and immune response against this particular virus.
The research could offer clues as to who might have some immunity during a pandemic.
If you got infected with one kind of virus, would you be protected against another kind, and how closely related would they have to be?
H1 and N1 are two proteins that sit on the surface of this new flu virus and help it infect cells. The body fights the flu by blocking those proteins. But a virus can change in a matter of hours, often by reshuffling its genetic material with another flu virus after they've infected the same cell. If that happens, the virus can develop a new coat containing new proteins, disguising it from the immune system. The body can't fight what it can't see. Flu viruses thrive in cold, dry air. So while this current H1N1 may die out here during the summer, it could thrive in the southern hemisphere where it's winter.
If you have a lot of the H1N1 virus circulating south of the equator in their winter, and it combines with regular or other influenza viruses, they can share genes. And it might conceivably pick up a gene that makes it resistant to Tamiflu also.
Researchers are going full speed ahead to decode this virus before the fall. Harry?
John, there's this sort of crazy thing going around on the internet. We've heard some reports on the radio even of people saying, I want to go get infected with this virus and thinking it's going to protect them or immunize them if this virus comes back later in the year. Is there any sense to that?
Well, Harry, where that's coming from is that during the 1918 flu epidemic, the people who got the milder form of the virus in the spring were actually protected from the more deadly version that came in the second wave in the fall. But this virus is way too unpredictable to recommend this as something that you should go out and do. It seems to be mild right now, but you could be one of those unlucky people who gets very sick and actually even dies. So we can't recommend that right now.
Not a good idea. Dr. John LaPook, thanks so much. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow, understanding America's job market, what to do, where to go, and improving your odds. Everything you need tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
If you've had a heart attack caused by a completely blocked artery, another heart attack could be lurking, waiting to strike. A heart attack caused by a clot, one that could be fatal. But Plavix helps save lives. Plavix, taken with other heart medicines, goes beyond what other heart medicines do alone to provide greater protection against heart attack or stroke and even death by helping to keep blood platelets from sticking together and forming clots. Ask your doctor about Plavix, protection that helps save lives.
If you have a stomach ulcer or other condition that causes bleeding, you should not use Plavix. When taking Plavix alone or with some other medicines, including aspirin, the risk of bleeding may increase, so tell your doctor before planning surgery. And always talk to your doctor before taking aspirin or other medicines with Plavix, especially if you've had a stroke. If you develop fever or unexplained weakness or confusion, tell your doctor promptly, as these may be signs of a rare but potentially life-threatening condition called TTP, which has been reported rarely, sometimes in less than 2 weeks after starting therapy. Other rare but serious side effects may occur.
If you take Plavix with other heart medicines, continuing to do so will help increase your protection against a future heart attack or stroke beyond your other heart medicines alone. You may be feeling better, but your risk never goes away. Help stay protected. Stay with Plavix.
Can't stop weeding? Then apply Preen for gardens. In just one application, Preen prevents weeds for 3 months. Stop weeds with Preen. Preen works, so you don't have to.
It's back, and it's beefed up. It's Applebee's 2 for $20 deal, now including real burgers. Get 1 appetizer, 2 entrees, and a real night out for just $20. 2 for $20 is back, only at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
And in business, the stock market...
Excedrin PM relieves pain fast, plus a sleep aid to help you fall fast asleep. Excedrin. What ache?
I'm Robert Shapiro. Over 1 million people have discovered how easy it is to use LegalZoom for important legal documents. So start your business, protect your family, launch your dreams. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Start your day with 100% all-natural Florida orange juice. It has almost 25% of your daily recommended fruit and vegetable servings in one 8-ounce glass. Florida orange juice. Healthy, pure, and simple.
At 11, local homes filled with sewage, thousands of dollars in damage.
How homeowners may get help with those huge expenses at 11.
Finally tonight, this Sunday, we Americans will pay tribute to our mothers and thank them for all they do. Some do so much, you could write a book. And if you did write a book, well, we know one mom who could sell it. Here's Bill Whitaker.
Kelly Corrigan is mom, wife, daughter, and author.
In honor of Mother's Day and children, I'm going to read 2 short chapters that
the Bay Area
primarily...
author's first book, The Middle Place, about her family's love.
You are the voice of our generation. Oh.
Her mother had her doubts.
Well, Kelly, I love it, but, I mean, who's going to want to read about us? We're not rich. We're not poor. We're not successful. We're not unsuccessful.
But it's now been 15 weeks on the New York Times bestsellers list, and her mom, Mary,
of that book called The Middle Place,
her biggest booster.
And for a year and 2 months, my mother has been stopping by Borders,
waging a one-woman guerrilla marketing campaign that even the bookstore found funny. Borders taped her near her suburban Philadelphia home on her mission. She nabs her daughter's books from upstairs in the back, takes them downstairs,
and puts them in a better place. Because that's what a good mother does, right?
And a good mother also is the glue holding the family together when first Kelly, then her father, were diagnosed with cancer.
I can't even imagine what that year when both her daughter and her husband had cancer. I mean, she's a rock.
Kelly calls her mother's parenting style no tears, no nonsense.
She doesn't do a lot of the superficial stuff. She's not always telling you how lovely you are or what a good job you did. She's behind the scenes making your life better.
Much better. Now look where Borders has Kelly Corrigan's book. Downstairs, front and center.
It worked. It worked.
Both Kelly and her father are healthy today.
Excuse me, have you read this book?
And Mary keeps on plugging, because that's what a good mother does. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That's the CBS Evening News. For Katie Couric, I'm Harry Smith. I'll see you tomorrow morning on The Early Show. Good night.
Katie Couric's political reporting, honored with a 2009 Annenberg Award for journalistic achievements in the highest tradition of Walter Cronkite and CBS News.
All right, guys, time out. Whatever you got, throw it away, because now I have come take a test drive with Mr. Billy D. Williams.
Smooth.
Gets them every time.
Richard, come to head office, please. Richard, head office.
Why Billy D? It's not about being smooth.
Yeah, but Billy D could get people dates.
No, it's about putting people in a car they love.
Some of us wouldn't mind a date here and there.
Talking for the love of cars.
For some, it's hands in the earth. The joy of bringing beauty to life. For others, it's a moment of instant color. And for others, it's the joy of making the outdoors part of the way you live, part of your home. You'll find what you need at Fred Meyer.